All right, welcome everyone. I am Brian. You are Chords and Notes Nation. This is a Patreon patron request for Phil 25 or 624. Actually, I don't know, Phil, if you actually required this one or requested this one specifically. You've requested a lot and suggested a lot, so I think I'm kind of just going to start grabbing all of them and attributing them to you because you've introduced me to some pretty amazing artists, and I have a feeling these guys are going to be another example of that. If you guys are new here, welcome. Have a seat. You're in my living room. You've been invited over to watch this with me, and I will give you a raw, honest, and unedited reaction. You are likely going to be seeing this on YouTube. However, not all of my Leonid and Friends reactions are going to be found on YouTube. All of them will be found on Patreon, by the way. And Phil is a patron, and he's a very active and happy member of Patreon. So check that out in the description box below. 7 years ago this was done, 8.8 million views. We know the song, we know the original artists, so let's see how they do in comparison. Nice sounding drums. Those are mic'd really good. All right. Nice tone in his voice. Pretty close to how Gettr sings it. Oh, nice harmony. cool. Very cool. Okay. So they are. Phil said they're from Russia, but I noticed a lot of this is Ukraine. This obviously 8 years ago. This was before the conflict, and I'm sure there are because ethnically there's a lot of similarities. So yeah, very cool, very cool. I mean, this to me, I haven't heard the original in a very long time, but it almost to me it sounded almost spot on. And what really caught my attention, two things actually. They were playing with sheet music, which is really cool, but that's that's pretty professional, and they used real horns. They didn't have synthesized horns. But most importantly, the vocalist sounded very, very close to Peter Cetera with that tone in his voice. Peter Cetera has a very identifiable voice, not just with Chicago, but yeah, very cool, very cool. And that's it's not a band. Chicago is not a band that I listen to very often, but when I do hear their stuff, I always enjoy it, and I see that they've done a lot of Chicago covers, so I will probably be getting more exposure to the band Chicago through these guys than I will through actually listening to the original recordings. And it sounds like they're pretty spot on with what they do, and that's really important as well, because you can go two ways with a cover. If you're gonna cover it, you're gonna cover it exactly the way it was recorded, you better be able to reignite the original spirit of the song, which I think they did to a T. Or you can take that and you can change it and put your own spin on it, if you're an individual artist or a band, whatever the case may be, and just sort of put your own stamp on it. That's okay too, because some trains of thought are like, well, if I wanted to hear the original, I'd just listen to the original. Why listen to, But there's some people who are purists. I'm kind of in both camps. I kind of want to hear the really good quality replication, and I want to hear a newer interpretation of a song as well. So, at any rate, this was absolutely fantastic. Phil, you were right. So, thank you guys for joining me. God bless you. Jesus loves you, and I will talk to you later.